A family gets invited to spend a whole weekend in a lonely home in the countryside, but as the weekend progresses, they'll soon realize that the family who invited them has a dark side laying inside them. What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for 2024's Speak No Evil. Now, this film is out as of September 13th, 2024. Happy Friday the 13th, by the way, everybody. I think this is the perfect time to drop a movie like this, where it's not completely 100% horror technically, but it is horrifying, horrific, and I'm gonna let you guys know my likes and dislikes. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that big thumbs up. Consider subscribing today for more reviews like this, movie reactions, and live streams here on the channel. Now, first and foremost, this movie is directed and written by James Watkins, who also did such films as The Take with Idris Elba, The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe, and one of my favorite sleeper hits, Eden Lake, which has an extremely disturbing tone through the whole movie with one of the most unsettling but realistic endings I've seen in such a long time. Please check out his older movies if you guys can. All right, so if you guys clicked on this review for Speak No Evil, you probably already know a little bit about Speak No Evil, just because this was force-fed to us on a silver platter every single time we saw a damn movie. Whether it was an independent release, whether it was a major release, whether you're clicking on a YouTube video and this ad for this trailer pops up, it didn't matter. This advertising for the trailer was freaking everywhere. I remember even people memeing that they got an advanced screener of this movie and the trailer popped up before the actual movie, which I thought was a funny meme. The marketing on this film was absolutely bananas. But let's not forget, guys, if you didn't know, of course, that this film is a remake of a film that only came out 2 years ago. Now, the original of the same name did come out around this same time in 2022. It is a Danish film. You guys let me know your thoughts on the original. I have not seen the original, but now that I've seen the remake, and I'm not going in order, obviously, I kind of want to go back and now compare and contrast the original to this film that I just saw. Now, if you guys like movies that get right into things, you guys are gonna like this one, especially when it comes to character building. There's a lot of character building exposition in this one, as we find an American family that does live abroad now in London, kind of taking on the sights, seeing what their next chapter in life, as both of them are kind of jobless and kind of clueless on what their future holds. They do have a 12-year-old daughter who is also going through her own battles. I believe she has anxiety. She always has this anxiety bunny, which does become a major player in the movie itself. And it's definitely a nice slice of life movie to see what people do when they're possibly transitioning once again from one chapter to the next. Now, even though we know James McAvoy is the star of this film, we can't forget other standouts in this movie, at least for me. Mackenzie Davis playing Louise Dalton. Oh my God. I think I might have first seen her in Terminator Dark Fate. Does anybody remember that movie? I did, because I'm a Terminator fan. She has a completely different look, obviously, in that film compared to this one. So I was like, okay, let's see where the acting chops lie with a mother, a young mother, and how she can pull off these weird, awkward scenarios that she gets put into. And I gotta say, she freaking nailed it, because everything that she was questioning that was out of the norm when it came to this new couple kind of inserting themselves into their life, so to speak, my fiance and I were both asking the same questions, like, no, we're out of here, or why the heck would they say that? Or why would they do that? This is going to be one of those movies that I think is perfect for a date night, so you guys can kind of get the dual thinking process going of what would a woman do in this situation? What would a man do in this situation? There's also a lot of internal conflict going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors, so to speak, with Mackenzie Davis and her husband, played by Scoot McNairy, who plays Ben Dalton. That leads to this whole masculine showdown towards like the end of the movie, where it is like an alpha versus beta male type of situation. And I thought that insertion into the plot, which I thought was pretty cool, because like my guy Q Review said in his out of theater reaction for this film, Ben Dalton by the third act of this film is a true bitch. He is a true bitch, man. It just comes out in him when push comes to shove. Though he does have some fatherly moments where the instincts do kick in and he has to kind of do whatever it takes to protect his family. But for the most part, Mackenzie Davis's character is the alpha, the strong, powerful mother in this family. It was interesting and cool to see that kind of power shift, at least what we're usually used to. It's always the man that stands up to protect the family, right? So kind of when you see the flip of the coin, it really throws all these emotions for a loop, especially up until that third act. We get to see once again that there's a lot of conflict going on with their marriage, some past things that have happened, and once again, how the hell are they going to get out of this weird, creepy situation that they have placed themselves in? Now, Cassie, played by Aisling Francioski, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's how the pronunciation on Google told me. I haven't seen too much of her work. I know she was in stop motion, I believe last year, which a lot of the horror community did like. But wow, man, she played a character that was along for James McAvoy's crazy, man. She definitely didn't necessarily match his crazy, but it seemed like she knew what was going on with him, the reason why he was doing things. There's a few scenes where it shows their parenting style, Patty, played by James McAvoy, and Cassie, and you would think, oh no, she's gonna step in, Cassie's gonna step in, and she's like, no, she really doesn't. She goes along with how they've chosen to discipline their kid. It is weird and kind of eerie that you can think that there are people like this out there, man. And not to mention the kids, man. I thought they were both fantastic in this role, especially Patty and Sierra's kid, and I thought this kid did a great job of conveying someone that was really confused, was trying to give hints of why he was there, and then ultimately what is going on with this family that he's a part of, as well as Agnes Dalton, man. I thought she was great in this role as well. I usually give kid actors a bad rep because they don't have that much experience, obviously, but they conveyed the waterworks and the emotions very, very well, especially when they're in tough situations, once again, like child abuse. All right, now the standout, obviously, for this movie, the selling point for this movie was James McAvoy. He does play Patty, and right away we're introduced to his crazy, man. He's very eccentric. He's over the top. We get to see moments where his character's not really breaking, but shifting to either someone that's really, really manic to someone that's very, very sad. It's almost like a split character that we saw him in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, which is one of my favorite, where he has the dual personalities, something like 19, 20 personalities. Check that one out if you guys haven't seen it. If you guys want to see James McAvoy at his top crazy, check out Split. But in this one, he's very, very similar, where he's like really beefed up. Oh my God, you don't know his background. Once you figure out kind of his background a little bit, because I kind of almost want to see a prequel on how this guy became what he was in this film. It is extremely, extremely disturbing by that third act. And James McAvoy plays it off great. And like I said, it shows a lot where he's interacting in those moments with Ant, his son, where you just can't help but just stare and like, oh my God, can someone step in? Can someone intervene? Can someone say something? But then it's like, even if we do say something, this guy is a freaking monster. How the hell are we going to stop him? We can't. We physically can't. Now, it's extremely important to mention, I don't know if I did at the beginning of this review or not, this is a slow burn, man. Some of the more crazy moments don't really hit until about an hour in, guys, an hour and 10 minutes. So if you guys think you might possibly fall asleep in the theater watching something like this, just wait for streamer. But it's an extremely, extremely disturbing build, once again, that we both appreciated, because there are those moments of hope when they get out of these situations, and then it sucks them back in, and then all this confusion, and then all this dread. Once again, going back to Eden Lake, this director's first film, I think he's really good at putting the audience on edge of like, oh my God, they're about to get out. Oh my God, they're not. Oh my God, here comes another person. Oh my God, how the hell are they going to get out of this one? All in all, I had an extremely entertaining time with this movie, guys. It made me really, really think, what would I do in this situation? Once again, I started to break and dissect each character down along the way, and even afterwards. I was talking about this movie for such a long time, hours after I'd watched it, and that's what a thought-provoking movie is supposed to do. So even though there was a couple of plot points that didn't really make sense to me, or the pacing issues I would have tightened up a little bit on, I did have an overall great time with this film, even though I really thought I wouldn't because of all the damn marketing pushed in my face. I thought it would have been like, Also a gripe I actually just remembered that I had said in my out of theater reaction, because of all the trailer pushing in our face, it was kind of predictable. We kind of knew which parts from the trailer were going to happen at which moment because the trailer was so fresh in all of our minds. So the best thing I could say, guys, is do not watch any trailers for this movie if you do plan to watch this film. And all that being said, guys, I think I'm going to give Speak No Evil from 2024 a solid 4 out of 5. All right, Flix Talkers, what did you think of Speak No Evil? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should I be checking out the original from only 2 years ago, guys? You guys let me know once again in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this review, please hit that big thumbs up. Consider subscribing today for more movie reviews like this, trailer reactions, movie reactions, and live streams here on the channel. All right, Flix Talkers, till next one, I'm gone. Peace.